Evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're all enjoying the weather. Please excuse the vest top, but it was like 27 degrees here in Scotland, which is very, very rare. So I thought, you know what, I'm wearing my vest top. So that I'm not apologising to anybody for showing off my big muscles and stuff. Anyway, tonight you might remember this lady. It's been quite some time, a long, long time since she's been on. She's a historical paranormal researcher. Kell, I was going to call you Ridley. Sorry again.
Ridley.
It's a simple name, but sometimes it's hard to say, isn't it?
I've got that many names, man. It's confusing.
Oh, you're one of these people have got a few aliases so people can't find you. Yes. Aye. I don't have a middle name. We were actually discussing that a couple of weeks ago. Sarah's got a middle name, her friends Laura and Craig and everybody, even my daughter's got one. I've not got one. Because I'm from Glasgow, we couldn't afford one, basically. Couldn't afford to put the extra name. So I've got a boring name. Just two. But so Kelly's not been. It's been a couple of years, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. About 3 years.
So 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. About 3 years. Yeah.
It's amazing how time flies. I had Matt Barron on a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about when he was last on. It turned out it was about 4 years since he'd been last on. I thought, no way.
Wow.
I thought it was like a year and a half, 2 years. But Sarah checked up on it. She says it's 2022. So time does fly, and I think that's part of the problem,
Mm-hmm.
Weeks turn into months, and everybody, goes different ways and with life and that. But how are we anyway, doll? It's good to see you back, and you're looking quite healthy and colourful.
Thank you. It's the first time I've been told that I'm colourful.
No, you know how some people. I'm Scottish, so I'm kind of like white, pure white milk bottle.
It's makeup.
I'm not starting to wear
pasty.
makeup.
I'm white as well.
I'm not starting to wear makeup. I'm afraid it's too warm. No, I'll just stay this colour. So, how's life been treating you?
Do you want me to lie?
You say whatever you want, though.
It's been fantastic. It's been a trip. You are? Say that again.
So
Didn't hear that bit. I'll let you off.
It's been quite good then.
It's been eventful. Let's just say for the last 3 years.
You've had quite a. There's your Laura in. Good evening, Kell. Hope you're great. Hope you're well. Great to see you back on. That's our Laura.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
So she's happy to see you. What about the paranormal side of things and stuff? You've been doing much there?
Sorry, you keep freezing. What was that?
I was saying about the paranormal side of things.
All right. What with me or with
With you? Oh, I'm getting taught up for what I'm wearing. Yeah, we should be taught. But hello again. It's with 27. I was in the carport earlier on, Laura, and the car said, well, didn't sort of talk to me, but the thingy on the car said 28 degrees, 27 degrees. Pardon me, that's the wife. 18th of January 2023, you were last on.
Wow, that is a long time ago.
That's a way long time ago. So I think we need to start from scratch because there'll be a lot of people that don't actually know what you do and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So do you mind getting asked the boring questions again?
You go for it. Yeah.
I can't believe Laura pulled me up for what I'm wearing. I mean, she stays literally 2 minutes, so she knows it's roasting. I mean, and excuse me, no excuse. Nobody wants to see you barely clothed, and we don't talk. They've got a fascination for my legs, Kell, right? Which is quite understandable. I'm a good-looking guy, basically. shall we say? I saw your eyes going sideways there, Kell. But
No.
that look. But they keep saying I've got legs like a chicken. So
I just can't hear what you were saying because obviously you break up.
I was saying I'm a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Try and sound a bit sincere.
Yeah. That is me being sincere.
I take to see when you're
I'm
lying.
not going to get in. Hey, I don't want to get into trouble for obviously saying something like that,
But Laura said nobody wants to see you bare. I'm not barely clothed. I've got the vest up. Well, I'm not sitting with a big black t-shirt or black hoodie on. No chance. More meat than a chicken drumstick. She says it every single time. Every single time.
That's hilarious.
Chris and Jacob. Am I pronouncing that right? And Kirsty.
Hi, Kirsty. Yeah, that's my niece.
That's your niece. Anyway, before we were rudely interrupted, Kell, where were we? Aye, so, the start from scratch, what do you think? You look as if you
sorry,
can't
you broke
hear
up
me.
again. I know it's just that you keep breaking up.
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you as well. It keeps pausing for some strange reason.
It must be your signal because the Scottish signal's fine.
Scottish signal.
We've got decent Wi-Fi up here, I'll have you know.
Yeah, it's not that great in Newcastle.
Decent Wi-Fi. I've been to England many a time. Decent Wi-Fi and Iron Brew. So, right, aye. What was I saying? Aye. I mean, they'll probably totally right off, just gone. Paranormal side of things, what got you started?
I seen a ghost when I was 9 years old. A girl ghost at my friend's house when we were playing hide and seek in the dark. I put my hand on her, thinking it was my friend, and my hand went through, and I freaked out and ran home. Told my mum, we got told that a girl had died in that back bedroom. Little girl of smoke inhalation during a fire in that house. So I've been fascinated ever since.
So she looked solid, basically. Hello to Sarah, my darling. Yeah. That's Laura saying hello to my wife. She's such a crawler. She's like a cringe fest at times, you know what I'm saying? So she looked solid. So she looked solid enough.
Yeah, I actually thought it was my friend. So, I got a fright when my hand went straight through her.
And so that was you kind of basically hooked.
Yeah, I was hooked from then. And then I started stealing books from the school library on ghosts.
Do you say stealing books?
Yeah. Yes. I've actually still got two of them upstairs.
You do actually know you don't need to steal them. You can just, I've done it, you just take them out and never return them.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I did.
Right, I thought you meant you kind of went in and put them under your jacket and stuff like that.
No.
Seriously, boss, I'll remember that. However, you're still my petal. Laura's on fire the night. She likes to come into the shows and just sometimes she's serious, other times she just likes to wind you up, basically. You know what I mean? But we'll be seeing you in the morning, Laura, so we'll deal with that then. So she looks solid. I mean, I think I've seen a spirit once at Loudon-Kirk, but it was like a millisecond, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'll behave. We were down the back of the kirk and I looked over to, it was a big tree and bushes and stuff, and I thought I seen a little girl peeking out to the side of this tree, but I'm talking about a second, and I looked back and she was gone. But it was one of these scenarios, nobody else seen her.
Yeah.
So I had to question myself, you know, did I see her? You know, or was it just kind of up here? We do know there
Yeah,
is
I've had a few of them
children,
instances.
and so I kind of just says, no, I didn't see her. You know, I think it's best to, you know, if you're not sure, just to say, no, it wasn't. Would you think?
Yeah, like I mean, like when I seen the child one, it was like many years ago. I didn't even know what the hell it was, so I didn't even think about it. So, but I mean, now there's loads of things I've seen, and I've like doubted myself whether it is or not. So,
There's too many people out there that, you know, say, oh, I've seen this, I've seen that, and it's paranormal, definitely a spirit, but they don't take the time to sit back and, you know, actually question if you've seen something or not. It's the same kind of idea as if you get in a location and you know the history.
yeah,
You know, like say, the Covenanters prison. It's a prime example for us. You know, you get Greyfriars, you get Covenanters, which is next to it. As soon as you enter the Covenanters prison, the atmosphere changes. There's definitely a different atmosphere. But you need to ask yourself, is that because
yeah,
we know the history of the place and what happened there? That
yeah, exactly.
you're already in that mindset. Would you think? Do you think knowing the history can sort of, I was going to say affect your mind, but put you in a totally different mindset?
Yeah. I used to work at the Ancient Ram Inn, and basically, there was one morning, me and the ex had been, we stayed there overnight, and were clearing up, making the beds and that. And then we thought, right, okay, before we go home, we'll do a quick investigation myself. And we were in what they call the witches' room. Apparently, there's children in there as well. So we had put the equipment down because it was like going absolutely crazy. And I turned around with my camera, and there was a tiny little kid's handprint indented into the bed that I had just made. And there was no possible way it was there before. So I've got that on camera. And then I still to this day think, is there any way I could have like made that in like handprint? Well, there's not. So
No,
I don't doubt.
no, if I was a kid. So you worked at the Ram Inn? Can you hear me all right?
No, you broke off again.
So
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
I've never actually spoke to anybody who worked there. I've spoke to a couple of people that have investigated the Ram Inn, but I've never spoke to anybody that actually worked in the place.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of other kind of stuff? Because it's meant to be really active, you know, for what I've seen and heard.
It's not as active as not when we were there, it wasn't that active, but there was a few things that we couldn't explain. Matt actually got a photo of one of the people that was there. They took a photo, and there was this black like shadow in the corner, but you could actually see its actual, like one of them cassock things, you know, that like the robes that they wear, like the monks. And it was tall, and you could actually see the pleats and everything, and there was nobody at that side of the room at the time. And it was, if it had been there, it would have been walking into this big massive tank thing that was there at the time. So there's no way it could have been there. So that was quite interesting as well. But we didn't really get that much. It was the Estes method in the bishop's rooms always amazing. Some of the stuff that came out over there, like really explicit. That was so fun.
That's what I was going to say. The priest room is known as the bishop's room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what's the story behind the bishop's room?
There's a couple of stories. There's one, apparently a man got his head thrown into the fire and killed. And another one, that apparently the bishop used to take young boys and do things to them and stuff like that there.
Right.
That's all I can remember, because I honestly, I've got a memory of a sieve, so I can't even remember. That was like about 2 years ago.
I'm the same dog. My memory's shocking. Chris is saying, I would love to see something, Kell. You need to sort your interest out, LL. I don't know if it means internet. You need to sort your internet out, maybe.
I haven't got a clue. If this is a Chris I'm thinking of, I think this is my brother.
Chris, Jacob.
I think it is. I think it's my brother. Might be.
You think it's your brother?
Yeah, I think it is.
Chris, if you're Kell's brother, going to stick in a wee yes in the comments or hi sis or what, whatever. She's not too sure if you're her brother or not.
I just don't know his call sign for this sort of thing, his email. So
I mean, the Ramin, that's where I've
Yeah.
got to get the guy's name round. John Hughes lived. Am I right?
John, yeah, that's right.
Did you ever meet him? I watched a documentary on him once, way back. And you see, a really interesting guy. Sadly, he obviously passed away some years ago.
I never met him. No.
Do you think that he's still there?
You love the place that much, so he's got to be. Absolutely got to be. They've actually, before we left, there was an interesting thing that they had just started to unearth, where the fire is in the what's it called? The bar bit or the snug bit. They found a tunnel underneath there, and they reckon it either went to one of the other pubs or to the church. So they were just about to start unearthing when me and the ex left.
Oh, you should have stayed longer then and found out.
No.
No. Did you have? Was there any time that when you were there that you were totally freaked? Was there any time when you were there that you were totally freaked out, as in, I'm never going back?
No. We used to sleep there. There was a couple of weird things that happened. The first time we actually stayed there, we had a blow up and that sounded bad, but an inflatable bed. And so I was sleeping downstairs in the sitting room thing, and because I didn't want to go upstairs because the beds were a little bit rickety, and and then basically, so we'll put the camera on to see if it would catch anything when we're sleeping during the night. Yeah, it is my brother. Hi, Chris. And halfway through the night, it stopped recording, and then it started when the sun came up, and then said the file was corrupted in between. So we don't know why I had done that. There was no possible way. And apparently I was talking in Latin during my sleep that night as well. And it missed it.
Right. As your brother, sorry, didn't have my glasses on. Totally fine, young man. Totally fine.
This is me, brilliant new brother. My new brother.
Is he one of your new ones? Makes you sound like you just been out and bought them. You know.
The what?
It makes you, sorry. I said that in Scottish, didn't I? Sorry.
I know.
I forgot you struggle with the Scottish accent. I mean, I know what I'm talking about, you know. You see, that's I've got a new brother just got, makes it sound like he went out and purchased them.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. That's like a family reunion now.
Did they sell in brothers or something?
That was me saying hello to him.
We've had that before as well. We've done locations at, you know, Caldwell Estate up here in Renfrewshire. We set up a camera and we were live as well. And you can see the camera sitting in the corner, and we watched it back the next day, and the camera went off after about 7 or 8 minutes. Nobody touched it. And then we were getting, you know, file corrupted.
Yeah.
But we did get a lot of activity that night. But the camera just switched itself off for absolutely no reason. So here's a question for you, right?
Okay.
We hear so many times about cameras being switched off, and it's happened to us a few times. Your camera's been switched off, then it's been switched back on for an hour. Do you think spirits sometimes, you know, the watches? I believe that when you do investigations, that the watches we were using, camera-wise, whatever it might be, and they learn how to use it, how to manipulate it, how to turn it off. Might sound.
I just think they're messing with it. I really do. I think, like, I mean, if you think about it, if you died and you were a ghost, wouldn't you come back and like mess with people's head, like do random stuff and that, you know?
Oh, I would.
Like,
I'd have a ball.
I've got a list of people who I'd want to haunt. So
really, you do? I'm not on that. I'm a by any chance, no.
No, you're right. You're
I'm
safe.
all right. I'm on the good list, aye.
And my best
I'm
friend's
on.
first on the list, though.
As long as I'm safe, I don't care about anybody else. Do you know what I mean?
You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say coming home to us, and obviously you've got proof of the paranormal.
Aye, see when you pop it, come back and see, come back and haunt us, aye. When you go, if you go before me, then, come back and I'll need to give you my address. So you know where to go. I got another question for you. No doubt you're the same. Every now and again I come up with random questions. You just kind of pop in here and go round and round for a while. Just the saying about haunting. But I mean, there is a theory that once we pass, we can go anywhere we want, basically. Travel, No, my address is... Well, it's quite posh, but I'm certainly no posh. Certainly no. I want to haunt lots of people.
Yeah, Kirsty, me and you probably want to haunt one person in particular, but she'll probably be away before us.
He's quite revengeful. No, I don't think that's a word, is it? Revengeful. Vengeful.
With Geordies, of course we are.
What, Geordies?
Yeah.
I love your accent. I do love the Geordie accent. Mother-in-law first. There you go.
Shocking.
I take it this is a sort of private family thing that's going on here.
I don't know about our mother-in-law, but she knows who I'm on about.
Right, so whoever it is better watch because they're coming after you after the time comes. Aye, so anyway, as I was saying, when we pass, if I were meant to, one thing is we can travel anywhere we want, country-wise as well, so we could go to, like say, America or France, whatever. I was thinking that maybe, no doubt you've done investigations where you picked up foreign accents.
There was somewhere we done years ago called Nelson, and apparently I think it was a Polish prisoner of war that was meant to be held there. He was meant to have murdered somebody, so we started. I learned some words in Polish before I went and started shouting. And that night I was getting like really violent bangs at the back of the aircraft carrier. Aircraft carrier. I can't even get my words out. So it's obviously he had a different language, so.
Laura saying that's the accent I couldn't place it. Newcastle, Geordie, I can't do a Geordie accent. I'm not even going to try.
I'm not that good at doing it neither, so.
No, your Geordie accent's crap, Kell. Sorry to tell you.
I know it is.
Absolutely wish pleasure. There's a lot of love tonight. I can feel them sensing a lot of love, for certain individuals, shall we say. So my question was, when we pass, say we can travel anywhere. So say when I pass, I decide to go to Spain, for instance, and I come upon people who are doing an investigation, and I try and say hello, and they pick me up. So they've been in Spain picking up a Scottish accent, basically. Now, this might sound nuts. Could that maybe explain why over here we pick up different accents in investigations? That they're actually just passing through on vacation, whatever you want to call it, I don't know.
I wouldn't say necessarily on vacation, but I mean, if they lived here or if they obviously died here, yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's just one of these thoughts that popped into my head. Sarah and Laura will tell you, I get them all the time. Do you not get random thoughts just drop in?
Yeah, you don't want to know what my random thoughts are, though.
I'm not talking about, killing people or anything like that. Taking revenge on people.
Shh, you're giving me obviously my secrets away here.
Shh, fingers on lips. Sorry, just stuff safe. I mean, I'm talking just in general, Something will pop out of my head. But I'm fascinated. I've been fascinated with the Ram Inn for some time. So, because you worked there, would you say that it lives up to the hype?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
It's the same as East Drive, is it? No. Would you? Do you reckon?
I don't know. Like I say, I mean, when we working there was only a handful of things that actually happened, and we were working there a couple of months, you know. So, yeah, it's an interesting place and everything, got an interesting history, but like I say, it's not really that spooky when you actually know the place, if that makes sense.
You get used to the place.
Yeah, I mean, the first when you walk in, everything's scary and spooky. Ooh, what's that? Creaky door and that, but then you get used to it, so it's not as bad.
No, I know what you mean. You get used to it, and your nerves and all that kind of settle down because you're there on a daily basis, and there's maybe stuff going on round about you that you actually don't notice because you're there that often. You know, it could be a noise, a smell, it could be anything really, but you actually really don't pay much attention to it. Whereas if you were investigating, you might, notice it more. That makes sense.
Yeah, it actually does.
Makes sense to me. It's like we did the Ivy House about 4 years ago or something. We went down. It's near Warrington. It's got the Ivy House, the Demon House, the Scream. It's got several different names. But I'd watched a few videos on it before we went, and and people saying really evil, really there's screams and heavy footsteps, and the usual toys and whistles. We went down, and we hardly get anything at all. We weren't expecting, The Exorcist or anything like that. That would have been good, but it was our camera gets. That's where our camera gets switched off and switched back on. We get footsteps and on video, sounding like this little girl laughing, and I think that was about all we got. So after we'd heard all about the place, we thought it was going to be really, you get into the mindset this is going to be really good. It's worth the sort of 6 hour drive in the heavy rain and stuff, and you crap basically. It was a good experience, and it was one to kind of tick off the list.
I think there's a lot of places like that. They've got the hype and that, but they just haven't got the activity anymore. It's like poltergeist places. It's like poltergeist is only known to last between a few months and a couple of years, 2 or 3 years at the most. And it's like people still oh, well, we had a poltergeist show, years ago. Nothing happens now.
Do you think maybe the spirits just get peed off?
Well, I would. I would if I was obviously getting people asking us the same questions over and over. Yeah, definitely.
I would mind them, but I mean, like take for instance East Drive. I think that's 7 days a week that gets investigated. It's always, and Riggerfay Spig, they're going down there on Monday, I think, overnight Monday. They fired the place out for an overnight up to about lunchtime the next day. I don't know. I'm on the fence with East Drive. But Laura's saying, Kelly, make sense of this. Scott picks me up from many places, nights out shopping. It's been nothing happens yet. When he picks me up from my house, I bring a passenger. What happens is with Laura, we pick Laura up. We give her a listen, what have you, but say when we pick her up for her house, she always sits in the back, obviously, but the middle seat always, the seatbelt thingy, alarm, that always goes off. Now, anyway, say it was a faulty sensor, fine, but it's in 3 different cars. So
that's weird.
We don't understand this. Say if it was just the one car, you could say, right, our backside slipped onto the sensor, but It's happened in 3 different cars, 2 different makes, 2 Suzuki's, 1 Ford.
I know it has happened in mine once or twice where the passenger seat, like nobody's been sitting in it, and that's been like obviously saying that they need the seatbelt on, but there's been nobody there. But I mean, talking of cars as well, the apparently Teslas, which I'm hoping that my brother's going to buy one because I want to try this out. If you go through a graveyard, it can see people that's not actually there.
Say that again. You broke up there. No, you say that again.
Oh, I said that Teslas apparently they can go through graveyards and they can see people that's not there, like on the front panel.
Right. And a Tesla, seriously, it doesn't happen when she's sitting in the front. But it doesn't happen when she's sitting in the front, just only the back. It's happened for, I don't know, 6 years now or something. So a Tesla can actually see people that's no there.
Yeah, apparently if you're going through a graveyard, yeah. I've seen loads of videos on it. I was watching it like last week, and my brother said he's getting a Tesla, so, well, I think he's getting a Tesla, so if he does, I want to try it out.
Is this the brother that's in the chat, or is this another one you bought?
Both. Yeah, that's my brother that's in the chat.
Chris, get your Tesla. Your sister's telling you, get a Tesla.
And then take your sister for a drive.
Buy the Tesla, take her to the graveyard and see what pops up on your screen. Don't worry, Kell. I'll help you, though. It's fine.
Thanks.
I'll not buy you a Tesla. I'll encourage your brother to buy it. That's actually quite... I've never heard that before.
If you go on TikTok, Google it. Or not Google it. Type it in.
I'm actually after a show. I'm going to go and have a wee look at that because I've never ever... Do you think cars can be haunted then? I'm not saying Teslas are haunted, it's just a general question. Do you think cars can be haunted?
I think anything could have an attachment to it, really, when you think about it. Because, I mean, you've got haunted objects and like all over the place, like in these museums and stuff like that, so why not a car?
Because I've often wondered, my dad had an old, you know, he'd an old Volvo. I don't know if you remember them or no. It was a kind of square-shaped box, ugly-looking thing. But it was his pride and joy. He drove it for years, and it was an automatic. But, you know, it was his baby, basically. And so after he died, he thought I was going to be taking it. I was like, no chance I'm not touching it. So he kind of sold it off. And I always wondered if he was that attached to it. I wonder if he still hangs about with it, basically. You know what I mean?
Could do. Yeah, he could do.
There's Michael. Apologies for showing up late. Hello, Kell.
Hi,
Evening, Michael, young man.
Michael.
It's just one of
My
these
wonderful co-host.
Oh, right. I know Michael. I don't know. I know who he is. The handsome-looking guy. The eye candy on your show.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Don't worry. You see, you gave him more encouragement when you did me. When I said I was good looking, you know that.
I didn't see him.
I got a kind of.
It was just froze. It froze. It wasn't me saying.
Aye, okay.
Anyway, I don't want to be hit by your intended. Well, your other half.
We'll go with that one anyway. You know what I mean? You're welcome, Michael, young man. So we're covering your journey in the paranormal, and then we go away sidetrack. So, when did you start to get really involved in paranormal, team-wise and investigations-wise?
I got I can't get my words out. I got involved with my first team in 2012. I was living in the house up in Alnwick at the time, which is like a really old converted barn. It was about 300 years old. And I was having some like major stuff happening in the house at the time. Like the doorbell would ring constantly from 3 o'clock in the morning until it got light. Then would hear like footsteps walking around the room. My jewelry box would open up and slam shut and things like that. Like even the pets would be absolutely terrified. So I got obviously in touch with a team. And then they investigated, and then after that, they were asked if I want to be part of their team. So I did. So that was my first.
So what did their investigation, did it bring out any results?
Mine, basically they walked out the room and the jewellery box was shut. We went out and then into the courtyard where you could see through the window, and it was open again. And the guy with the camera was the last one out, and he obviously walked backwards type of thing. So it was definitely shut. And then by the time we got outside, it was open.
So no idea who it might have been?
Not a clue. I moved out. Oh, it was actually, yes, there was. It wasn't until I moved out. I actually got a photo of a girl in the window. She was like obviously transparent, but she had a riding cap on. And I was like, well, what the hell? Why is this girl got a riding cap on in my window? And then it wasn't until I moved out, my old cleaner, I got in touch with us, and she asked us if anything happened in the house. And I said, yeah. And she went, oh, it's just that before you moved in years and years ago, there was a girl that lived there, and she was like riding a horse up and down the yard, and up and down the lane, sorry, and she fell off a horse and she died, basically. So that was probably the girl with a riding cap on.
Why? Any ideas why? I believe that when we pass for here, we'll get we'll get the choice whether we can pass on or we can hang about, basically. Any idea why should we maybe want to hang about,
Maybe she's just looking for her parents. I don't know. But I don't think it was just her that was in the house. It seemed to be, we're seeing like the outlines of two collie dogs as well running around. So I think it had something to do with the farmer's land. We've been in the middle of nowhere. So yeah.
See, that's what I love about the paranormal. There's that. Yeah, I know you get a lot of people out there that say it's crap. Don't believe in it. It doesn't exist. Once you die, my dad, bless you, he was one of them. Once you die, that's it. Lights out, nothing. Bury you, God. But there's way too much. You think globally, there's way too much evidence. Whether it's sightings, photographs, EVPs. The list is like that.
Yeah.
To totally say no, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And
my dad was one of them that didn't believe in it whatsoever, but I've actually got a photograph of him, like a reflection of him in my kitchen window, looking out.
Yeah, he didn't believe. Lovely hearing from you again, Kell. I'm away to bed. I'm shattered. We'll catch the rest tomorrow, boss. I'll see you first time. Hey, night, Doc. Thanks for popping in. So your dad didn't believe in it, but he did come back.
Yeah, like I say, I didn't even take the photo. It was the ex that took the photo on a video call, and he went, "Oh my god," screenshotted it, sent us it, and I was like, "That's my dad." I've actually got a photo of him in the exact same clothes. So yeah, I don't know if my niece knows that I've got this photo, but I'm going to have to show her.
See, my dad came back. Well, it was a spiritualist church in Glasgow. I went to a medium's on, and she told me about my daughter. She told me about my grandma. She told me about my girlfriend, but then she told me about my dad, and she described him down to a T. Yeah. Described him perfectly. And my dad had been away. I don't know, a good few years by this time, but she said he's here, and she described it. I said, that's my dad. That's definitely, he came back so many years later. Even though, you see, he was diagnosed with cancer, and the hospital told him, basically, nothing we can do. You've got about 3 months, etc., etc. And we used to kid and joke about it, like I was saying about the Volvo. He would say, you got to, he always asked, every time I went to the hospital, he'd say, have you washed my car? I said, why would I wash it? You're going to die. You're not going to drive it again. I said, I'm not washing it. But we did it in a joking manner. And I said, don't you come back? He says, no, son. She said, don't come back, But he did come back. I've got a comment from Michael, I'll stick on sec. So that leads me to another question. I was talking to, I think it was Rigger about this, maybe. Talk to somebody about it. I'll try and see, this is some of the daft thoughts I get. As I say, when we pass, I believe we have the choice. We can either hang about or we can go into, the light and then but we've got the capability to come back, and visit basically whenever we want. So if you get somebody that goes into the light, and they maybe meet, I don't know, their mum and dad, whoever, and they kind of say hello, and then they come back, say, right, I'm going to go back to see what's happening at home, whatever. This might sound nuts, but it's the easiest way I can explain it. So they've been into the light and they've come back. To them, there's been no time at all. But to us, it's been like 20 years. You with me so far?
Yeah.
So could that explain why you get that many people that say, oh, my mum came through, she passed away about 30 years ago, and that's her just coming through now? Could that maybe explain?
I don't know, because I think that when they die, they go to some sort of place where, like, obviously it must be a shock passing over, But personally, I believe that they go to some sort of like waiting area or like stuff like that, while they find out exactly what they are and who they are, type of thing. And then I think they've got a choice after that. It's got to be something, because people, like, there's just too many, like you said before, too many people have had experiences with loved ones that's passed over, things that's been told, like, through mediums. I go to an amazing medium called Craig Morris, and he taught me everything about my dad. But years ago, me and my friend used to always go to another medium, and he used to tell us that my dad was like, is in spirit, and I was like, no, my dad's in the house, and he's, no, your dad's in spirit, and then obviously he was right. Years later, we didn't find out until then.
Aye, there is. My daughter, we lost her to cot death, 1992. She was just under 6 months. But during investigations, we've always felt that there's a little girl, following us, for want of a better word. We obviously would pick up this little girl. So we did. I did a lone vigil at Loudon-Kirk a couple of years ago, and I got my sleeve tugged twice. And so Rosie and Emma, the Ghoul Gang, they were up. We did another investigation there, and I says, can you tell me who was it that pulled on my arm? Who pulled on my sleeve that time I was here alone? And we get back a clear EVP saying it was me, Daddy.
Wow.
And that kind of knocked me on my backside, basically. Another time we were at Stair, it's a small village in Ayrshire, and again, with the feeling of the wee girl, so I just turned around and says, can you tell me what toy I would put in your bed every night? Never got anything. I said, can you tell me what colour it was? And we got back 2 different occasions, green. And my daughter had a wee Rexy for Toy Story. The dinosaur. Used to put that in her cot every night. So that set me thinking, if she can respond saying it was me, Daddy. Obviously, when she passed, she couldn't speak or anything because she was under 6 months. So obviously, she's grown on the other side.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that as well, because apparently there's loads of people that have seen the grandparents come back, like a younger version of themselves. So.
And that's been a question I've been asked a few times, why do people always appear different, when they come back? And my belief is that when we go, we choose to come back in a forum that was, because when my dad passed, there was nothing left of him, basically, he was always a big kind of strapping man, but when he passed, it was paper thin, pure white, But when this woman described him, my dad he looked like Jack Nicholson. And this woman's with that, he looks kind of like Hollywood star. His hair's immaculate. He's got a shirt and tie. And my dad wore a shirt and tie all the time, constantly. And she described him to a T. Kell has many interesting paranormal experience, especially the handprint experience at the haunted location. That the one with the kids' handprint?
Yeah, the one at the ancient ram, yeah, that's the one.
time passes differently over there. Time is an earthly. That totally right. That's kind of puzzling me. I thought, well, we go into the light and we kind of say hello to whoever's went before us, and then we come back. It might seem like no time at all to us, but on this side, maybe 10, 20 years or something.
Yeah, could be.
That's just some of the nonsense that goes through my head at times. And I drive Sarah nuts with it, So the historical bit, how did you get into the history side of things as well? Because you're also a history, that fancy word.
that happened at school. I was absolutely fascinated with history, castles, anything like from the Tudor era, then the War of the Roses, and then obviously all that. Just absolutely fascinated. It started from there, really. Then I just started looking into things because when I became part of the team for Ghost Investigate with Drew Bartley, I was the historical researcher. So basically, I used to have to go and look at, like, obviously find like things that nobody else could find about the locations and stuff like that, the history of it and everything. And I was good at it, so that just stemmed from there.
I hated history in school as well. I get kicked out of history.
Wow.
I always remember my teacher, Mr. Henry, he was called. He had a beard, he was tall, he had a beard. I hated it. And I get kicked out in second year. And look at, I'm fascinated with it. It's
I know. Weird.
Whereas you've always been a history buff.
Yeah.
Kell is a great researcher. We even have a history connection in a funny way. We both love history and share when we can. Because history, I love it. As you mentioned the Tudor era. That's my favourite era in history.
Yeah.
There's been many great other ones. Elizabethan, Victorian, etc. But I'm just fascinated with the Tudor era. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the pull to it is. I've just finished a series with Carol Tracy. We were covering the Tudor era. We're doing Elizabeth I next. It's just had a big pull for me for many, many years. I don't know why. What's your kind of favourite era?
The War of the Roses. Absolutely love them. Like Edward IV. I'd done my ex-husband's family tree all the way back to them because he's 16th great grandfather. Michael actually helped me to get all the way back to I can't remember when it was. He got pretty far back, but like Robert the Bruce and everything on my dad's line. But obviously it turns out that my dad's not my blood anymore, so Robert the Bruce isn't my grandfather. But yeah, we got pretty far back with him. So when we found out that Matt's was like obviously Edward IV and Elizabeth Woodville was his 16th great grandparents, I think. That's why when we got married, we had the medieval style wedding in one of the castles that Henry VIII's wife lived in.
I saw the wedding, quite impressive, I must say.
Thank you.
It was you made a beautiful bride, but I think the Tudors fascinates me for one reason. Did I say something funny there? You did. You look good with all your stuff on.
Thank you.
I don't know where you got the big fancy dress. I don't know where you call the dress. I'm from Glasgow, for God's sake. A fancy dress is a handbag.
It was I got it specially made by a woman down in can't even remember, Lincolnshire or something like that. Can't remember. But it was like a Tudor style dress, so yeah.
I love the whole kind of theme of it. So the Tudors, I don't know. I think just because the Tudor era changed history that much.
Yeah, it did.
And then let's face it, old Henry, he was a man and a half. Know what I mean?
Yeah, he's probably the kind of guy I would have obviously got together with. He was that much of a good man.
you'd ended up in the scaffold or something like that. In the tower.
I would have been like, had no head.
That'd been another one gone. But no, it did. It shaped it shaped the course of history quite a wee bit. And a lot of people, and it's a shame really that more people aren't into history.
Yeah, I know. I tried to get my daughter into it, and she's just not interested whatsoever.
Too boring.
Yeah.
There's Michael, choosing the religion of England, never forget how that. Because Henry fell in love with a younger woman, basically.
Couldn't
and
keep it in his pants.
Well, I was trying to be polite there, Kell.
Sorry.
I was trying to be polite. But I mean, a lot of people don't realise that that's why the religion in England changed, because basically Henry fell in love with a younger woman and he wanted a divorce.
Yeah.
You take away all the fancy bits there. The bottom line, that's why. And it's a shame because, you get Catholics and Protestants, and I'm not religious, prejudice or whatever anyway. But a lot, if you say a Catholic, why do you get two separate religions? Probably half of them couldn't tell you. It's not that they're ignorant, it's just that they've never, been taught it or, told whatever. Change religion over divorce, interest of the nation changed over. Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the days, you've got to realise that the king was everything.
It's not like today.
Aye, well, we won't go down that road, will we? But we did get a bit of good news this morning, I will say that much. Not that we are a political channel, we are not, but rah-rah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sarah had been talking about it for a couple of days, and I says, nah, it's not going to happen. And I know it had been all over TikTok, but what TikTok's like, all the rumours and all the rest of it, and Facebook as well. And then woke up, I came back from taking the dog a walk this morning, and I looked on TikTok, and lo and behold, it happened. I mean, so we'll see what happens for no one. But no, as I say, I take it you were glad to hear the news as well.
Oh, damn right, yeah. It's like a long time coming.
About 2 years, I mean, but you wonder what tipped the scales, what made him finally sign that bit of paper,
He's got to have been pushed. He's got to have been pushed.
I won't be coming in on Monday, bit of paper kind of thing, Just pay me what I'm owed my holiday pay and I'm off.
Please excuse me from school.
Aye. As I'm not very well liked, I keep getting bullied. I wonder why. I mean, but anyway, we'll not get in that road. But I mean, back then also, the king was everything, and he decided, I'm not happy with Catherine Aragon. The Pope wouldn't grant a divorce because it was against the religion, so his only option was, Wolsey had tried for about 2 years, totally failed. And so he basically says, well, stuff you, I'm going to make my own wee group up.
Yeah. Didn't get his own way, so just made it his own way anyway. Done what he wanted.
Aye, and nobody would question it because he was the king. And if you did question it, you ended up in the scaffold. Or if you didn't agree, I mean, look at Wolsey, look at Thomas More and what have they. They ended up, he even threatened his own daughter with execution, he even threatened Mary with execution if she didn't sign the oath as well.
It's crazy.
So it shows you he was a bit of a tyrant at times, so to speak, But you and Michael do a chat show, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us a wee bit about that and what you do.
We haven't actually done it for around about a year now. It's called Paranormal Versus. There's me, Michael, and what other co-host, Enoch. What we usually do is bring people on, guests on from all over the world, and basically the experiences with the paranormal or the cryptids or experts with things like that, like UFOs, and we just talk to them, ask them questions, and basically we've had some fun ones. There's a funny thing when I had to get Michael to actually translate for one of the guests that we had on because he couldn't understand a word I was saying. So that was fun.
Was he for the UK?
He was from that film Fire in the Sky. He was Mike Heston Rogers. He's a lovely guy. He just didn't understand what I was saying. So yeah,
I think that as well. You know, I think that as well. You know, people don't understand me, and for the love of me, Kell, I don't understand why they don't understand me. You know, I don't know why. Because I speak.
You see, people say like Scottish and Geordie. A lot of people from down south think I'm Scottish, and I'm like, no, I'm a Geordie. It's completely different. And they're like, but you sound Scottish, and I'm like, no, I don't. But apparently, we sound similar.
No, I've never. I mean, I've been in Newcastle many times. I just delivered Newcastle, what have you. I've met quite a few Geordies, and I've never met one that sounded like a Scottish guy. No, so I don't know.
I know.
The love of it, the you know, the Geordies are lovely people anyway.
My head's swelling.
No, they are. You know, 'cause I mean, I've delivered all over the country, right down, you know, as far as Somerset and, you know, everywhere. And some of the places you go to, some are sort of just cabbages. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you think, how can you even put your trousers on in the morning? Basically, you know. But any time I went to Newcastle, you know, people would, aye, and, you know, I'm not even going to try and do the accents and stuff like that. But, you know, there was always a smile and you chat away to you and stuff like that. You know, you see that, oh, you're from Scotland, are you? You know, just do your delivery and go kind of thing. Peasant, you know. But I always had time for, can he be a good Geordie? That's what I always say. So your chat show, have you had any terrible guests on it?
Any what, sorry?
Your chat show, have you had any sort of terrible guests on it?
I wouldn't say terrible guests because all the guests are wonderful. But I have had a couple of moments where, because of somebody putting something in the comments and then Michael accidentally read it out and we were like, oh my God, no. It was a question that shouldn't have been like asked. But it was seen the funny side of it, I'll put it that way. I think Michael know which one that is.
We actually had a guy stripped naked on our show one night.
Oh my God.
It was, I don't know how he did it, but back then we used to put the link in the chat, you know, for folk to come up and join us. And we had a girl from Australia on, and it was a late, I think it was like midnight that we were on. And, you know, so we're yakking, talking with a girl from Australia, and then it came up, so-and-so wants to join. But it came up under a name that we knew. We knew the girl's name, so we let her in, and it was this young guy standing in his hallway or his bathroom. It was in his house, and he just totally stripped, naked.
Yeah.
And it took us a few seconds to actually realise what he was doing, and by the time we realised what he was doing, he was standing there butt naked on the live. So we took in a end to life, and it was like, stop the live. Luckily, the guest, she was howling. She thought this was hilarious. We started it again, but it was just, I think that's what I enjoy doing these shows as well. You can't predict what's going to happen or what your guest is going to say.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure Michael's had something like that happen to him before as well when he was on another show.
It's you know, you think, and then you think to yourself, what was going through that person's mind that they wanted to do a full Monty on a podcast, you know?
That's
It
hilarious.
just, it just bless him. Makes it one. We did have the one about vampirism that we all started getting confused on too.
Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about. That was not the guest's fault. That was a certain person that's just in the chat.
Do tell. You've got me curious now.
Right, well, so there was me, Enoch, and Michael, like obviously on the podcast with this guy who was there talking about vampires, and my ex decided to be funny and put a comment in asking about a certain kind. Is there a certain kind of vampire? And basically, it's not politically correct. Let's just say. And Michael didn't realize we were trying to like message him behind the scenes, saying, "Don't read his message. Don't read his comment." And yeah, he read it by accident. And he wasn't too happy about it with Mac at the time.
I get the kind of general idea, but it's a chance you take. I mean, so, we've done over 500 of these, and I've spoken to a lot of people. But we had one woman on, and she seemed all right. I've been chatting to her for a couple of weeks, and you're still okay to come on. I would not have posted it if it was not from him.
Yeah, you trusted him.
And live to regret it with the sounds here, But I mean, after we talked to this woman, and she's totally normal, yeah, talking away. I'm looking forward to it, So the night of the show, she came on, and she was absolutely stoned.
Oh God!
I don't take drugs, or whatever, but she wasn't drunk. She was high, as I don't know. The space shuttle, basically. And I think it lasted about 15 or 17 minutes, and I thought, I need to go off here, And so I faked Wi-Fi issues. And seriously, Kell, she was absolutely... I say, so what are you hoping to get out tonight? And she's like, oh, a truly wonderful experience. What? What did she just say? I thought, right, I need to end this quickly. So I said, I think we're having Wi-Fi issues, so I'll get you back. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll come on, just let me know. You're never hearing from me again, dog.
That's crazy.
It is absolutely. And with this other couple on, and that brilliant after it. The Wi-Fi issue works every time, man. Trust me. It's a Kell, any ideas?
I thought Michael would enjoy that one.
But it's one of these scenarios. You're sitting there, you've got this woman on, and you think, what do I do? I can't sit here for an hour or so and talk to this woman. So you think, I can't just say, right, you're stone 10, I'm off. So you think, and with another couple on for Hastings, actually. And we'd had them on the show a few times. A really nice couple as well. They came on one night, and the two of them were absolutely steaming. Absolutely hammered. I'm talking beyond redemption here, you know what I mean? And you know that way when you're drunk, you keep repeating yourself.
I don't know, I've not been drunk before.
Well, where you get drunk, Kell, you maybe realise this, Not saying anything, I've got a very good friend. He's called Jack Daniels, I think his name is. He's a good pal of mine.
I know him very well, actually.
Aye, that's what I'm referring to. You met him and his entire family on Saturday with the sound of it, but however,
that and some.
And they regretted it on the Sunday and part of the Monday, but
it was
fingers on lips. Fingers on lips. But these two were absolutely hammered, and they kept repeating repeating over and over. Oh, I have stories. I think Michael and I might need to have a little chat.
What kind of stories, Michael? It's okay. I'm perfectly calm. When you're talking about drunk guests, there was one that came on our show. He was drinking. I was getting a little bit worried, but he didn't get to the point where, well, I don't think he was. Either he was good at covering the fact that he was drunk. So
I'm waiting for the reply to this one, Kell. Stories. I mean, I don't know if he's talking about drink stories or chat show stories.
I don't know. You never know, Michael, actually.
I think you and I need to have a wee chat, Michael. You know what I'm saying?
You should bring Michael. Bring Michael on your show.
Don't worry, I intend to. Because I think him and I have a lot to talk about. I have 2 shows of my own. We had one. I have 2 shows of my own. We had one on our show. You mean a drunk couple on your show or a drunk person?
I don't know if he's on about the same thing, but there was one person that was drinking, and then later on, he decided to try and phone me and try it on with us when I was getting married in a few weeks after.
Did he?
Yes.
Your guest phoned you?
Yes, he tried it on with us. And then he deleted all his messages after that, and I was like, "Oh, Michael, look, we have to do something about this."
Right, semi-drunk one guest. It's a chance you take, isn't it? You know, as I say, you can talk to these people. You know, I always like to talk to a guest, you know, a couple of weeks before the show, and then maybe mail them the week before. Keep in touch with them, you know, rather than just say, right, you know, I'm doing a show, do you want to come on, you know, 2 months' time, and then they don't hear nothing for 2 months until the day before the show, and then you mail them. So I always like, some of them are really, really nice, and then you get them on the show and you think, what was I thinking?
Yeah, that's the one. No, I wasn't married at that point, Michael. That was 2 weeks before the wedding or something.
Did not sit well with any of us. I mean, we'd only been doing this about a year at a time, and with this young girl on, and she was a lovely girl, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure, but she came on. You were near enough married, Kell. Come on, close enough.
Okay,
it's good as. But I did with this young girl, and she lovely young girl, and so we says, you know, have you ever, you know, how long have you been into the paranormal? And she went, how long have I been doing the paranormal, Mum? 3 months. I said, have you done any investigations? Gran, have I done any investigations? Many have I done. Two. I felt like saying, bring the family in. You know, just bring them in. They must have been all sitting in a circle or something doing this lassie. Just bring them in the last day. Because clearly you don't have a clue what you're talking about. Every single question, she was like, Auntie Mary, have I ever seen a ghost? You know, and then she'd come back round. And you think, oh, what? I was up Galashiels doing a paranormal in a castle years ago, and they asked me to sit in the room and look at a unit with a doll in it. I looked at it for 10 minutes and the side door opened, and everyone. That's the thing about YouTube, where you're trying to breaks the comments up, rushed in, because their meter there had been off the scale, but I couldn't see or hear anything in the room. There was definitely something out there, though.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realise that you believed in the paranormal, Chris, but yay, I can take you ghost hunting.
You've been converted?
Yeah. Oh God, there's loads of places that we've been as well, and it's everybody said, right, sit in this room, you're going to hear something, and we didn't. But then sometimes that we weren't expecting it and things did happen, so you never know what you're going to get.
No, exactly. You don't. You know, we had a girl on our team a couple of years back, no longer away, but her husband came out one night and he was totally sceptic, which was fine. You know, everybody's different. He did not believe in it at all. And we took her to Dunure Castle, which sits right on coast of Ayrshire. And he had the headphones and the blindfold on, and he got some stuff that was really personal to him. And so after the investigation, I'm not 100% a believer, but that certainly changed my mind. And you know yourself, Kell, we don't go out to convert people or anything like that, you know, bash them out the head with a paranormal Bible or anything like that, you know.
I love skeptics more than anything, especially in a really haunted location, because it's like,
it's when you get something. Don't ask Kell to take you to investigate Hadrian's Wall. Sorry, Kell. What happened at Hadrian's Wall? Come on, spill the beans.
Oh God, I get this every single time I'm on a podcast with Michael. Basically, Hadrian's Wall's like 200 yards from where I live, and Michael was keep going, "Why don't you investigate it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I will at one point." And he's like, "I need to like take some photos." And I'm like, "Right, okay." So this day, I sent him a load of photos of Hadrian's Wall, just at the top of the street where I live, and then I went on to somebody else's podcast as a guest that night, and Michael was actually telling them in the chat, like, Kell sent us some lovely photos of Hadrian's Wall when she was up there. I was like, no, I wasn't up there, Michael. I just like went on Google like Earth and like Street View and took the photos off there and sent them to him. And he wasn't very happy that I didn't actually go.
All right, so you just, you know, I can't be annoyed going. I think that'd be fascinating going to Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah, it's a bit boring.
Have you been up though? have you
there's a part of it where I live is meant. No, not yet. It's only 200 yards up the road, but I've never been. But the part that I live next to is meant to be haunted by a little girl. Years ago, some kids took some photos, and there was a little girl in the photo. Apparently, it's a girl that was murdered across the road at the nunnery. So Michael's keep hounding us to go.
Historical location and local, not invested. I know, like 200 yards. If it was maybe 220, or 20 or 200 mile, like you say, but 200, you can walk that.
I've got a bad back.
You've got a car, haven't you?
Excuse me, I'm sticking to it.
200 yards, you know, it's not really that far, but I mean, skeptics in that, we're always going to get them, you know. It doesn't matter how long you do this for or how many investigations you do, you're always going. I would say we're kind of 80% belief, 20% skeptic, because you've got to have that wee skeptical bit inside, you know, because you know yourself, Kell, there's a lot of teams out there that every time somebody farts, it's a spirit, you know, every wee noise. Paranormal. Did you hear that word? They said dog. Did you hear it? They said your name. And they said your name, Agnes. Did you hear Agnes? They said, you know, and they just get, you know. But it's when you get somebody that's a true skeptic and then something happens.
Yeah.
And you just, they don't need to say anything. It's just the look on their face.
Yeah. That's why I love skeptics.
You know, and so they don't say anything, but you see, you can tell the wee wheels are turning in the background, and they're trying for the love of them to work out what that noise could have been. Yeah, and they just cannot do it, you know. Cheers for joining in, young man.
Bye, brother.
But some skeptics are just downright, you know. They just want to attack all the time. You ever encountered them?
There's some paranormal investigators as well. It's like, I encountered this when I was down south. I'm not going to name names or nothing like that, but like basically the tell tales so they can get the the locations and stuff like that. So like I say, it's getting worse out there. You know, it's like people like trying to like outdo everybody else, or one team's got to be better than the other. Everybody should just do their own thing and just like mind their own business and like just get on with people. I just don't get all the backstabbing of the whole entire paranormal community, to be fair.
I totally agree. There's absolutely no room for you see it a lot on TikTok. See the amount of, no doubt you've seen it, the amount of it is it bitching, excuse the French, that goes on TikTok with different, especially I find there's a lot of mediums bitch about each other.
Oh God, yes, I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
You get tarot readers, etc. But actually,
Yeah.
there's a lot of mediums bitch about each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's one in particular that I know that does it a lot about everybody else, and everybody hates him for it. But yeah, it's his business at the end of the day. I don't get involved.
There's one, I'm not going to
Skeptics off on
name.
Michael.
There's one on TikTok. I was going to have her on the show, and she seemed, down the earth and what have you, and she was calling out quite a few fakes, mediums and stuff, and she's put videos up calling these people out. And so I thought, this lassie's all right, And so I mailed her about coming on, and she says, I'd love to come on. But then she started doing videos saying that she was talking to Princess Diana. And
Okay.
there was Freddie Mercury, no, Michael Jackson and Princess Diana. She'd been talking to them to put the record straight about them. And
Right.
I thought, I'm out. As the Dragon's Den say, I'm out. And I was talking to another lassie who seemed all right on TikTok. I says, you want to come on? And she mailed me back saying yes, but I'm Eve. I said, what do you mean you're Eve? She says, I'm Eve from the Garden of Eden. And she was serious. She says, there's me and another 5 women on this earth that has been sent here to save the world. I thought, right.
That must be me then.
I'm out. You must be one of them, aye.
Hell no.
But
can't even save myself. I can't save the earth.
But this woman she was actually convinced she was actually Eve for the Garden of Eden. And I says, I say to my wife, I says, I couldn't have a guess with that one. What do you do with somebody like that? How do you talk to somebody like that? How's Adam getting on? Seen any good apples lately? Whatever.
Yeah. And Michael will probably agree that we've had a few people like that on our show as well. And you just go, oh, really? Okay.
You just have to agree with them, can't you? Because you can't talk to them and say, no, you're a nutter.
That's all. All you can do. That's all you can do. Yeah.
But next time, ask Eve about Lilith.
Good one, Michael.
Oh, yes, we have, Kell. But that's what I was meaning. You just don't know what you're getting. But thankfully, I didn't have any of these people on.
Unfortunately, we did.
You did that.
It was interesting, though.
How did that work out for you?
But on the other hand, have you ever had any guests on where they've nearly knocked you to sleep?
No, Sarah has. Sarah's been on me a few times and she's nearly fell asleep. But no, I have had guests on where you're waiting on them to take a breath so you can jump in.
Yeah.
Because just bang, 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 and you're like this. You're like the rabbit coming out the side of the road, wait for the gap, to kind of jump in. And
yeah.
So who nearly? No, I'm not going to ask you his name. Somebody nearly put you to sleep. I held my tongue on that episode.
Which one? Which one? Oh, gosh.
That might be the sleepy one.
Well, I'm not disclosing anything because now I'm going to have all our guests thinking, "Oh, was it me?" You can tell it's just I used to just stare into the camera and go. Used to just zone out.
Wait to hear what one Michael's talking about. But no, I don't think. I have had the guess on where you come off, you think, never again.
Yeah.
You know. The one your ex brought on.
I can't remember him bringing anybody on. Unless it was me that brought them on by accident and blamed it on him.
You brought them.
The what? The theory of the planet.
How can you bring a guest on by accident?
Are we talking about the flat Earth one here, Michael?
Theory of the planet one.
Was it the flat Earth one?
Theory of the planet one.
If he's the one I'm on about, it was me that brought him on because I was a bit of a fan. Right. Okay. It's a flat Earth guy then.
Flat Earth one.
Oh God, Mark something. He's famous in America for the flat Earth theory. Can't remember his surname. I was only talking to him the other day as well. Yeah, I thought he was interesting. I mean, I don't believe in it, but it was an interesting topic.
No, I'm no a big fan of the flat Earth. I don't know much about it. You know, I don't tell a lot to do with it, but I've heard about it and read some bits and bobs about it. And no, I believe that the Earth's round and that's it. You know, simple as. We're not going to go to the edge and fall off.
Yeah. Oh no. I just thought like at the time it was like a really interesting thing, just something different compared to what we usually had on. So I invited him on and he accepted. I didn't think he would because he's quite well known in that field. So yeah, it was interesting.
I like you said there is something different. I like to put on something different every now and again, you know, because where I can't think who I was saying to, but it was different. Well, I think if you're talking just to, you know, no disrespect to anybody, but if you're just talking to paranormal teams constantly, you know, week in, week out.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets a bit stale after because it's the same stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Again. Whereas,
exactly.
you know, I like to maybe get authors, actors, you know, historians, all that. A lot of people in, because everybody's got different. They're all connected to the paranormal, you know, in one way.
Yeah.
But it's just a different spin. Don't get me wrong. I have done a show on Elvis Presley. I'm a big fan, and I did a show a couple of weeks ago on Formula One. You know, just totally random. There's a guy I watched on TikTok, and I follow him all the time. And I just says to him, "Do you want to do a wee show?" And he's like, "I would love to." So we did a Formula One show, totally unrelated to paranormal, but it was just kind of something different to do.
Yeah.
But I got kicked out of a flat Earth Facebook group during lockdown for asking if social distances had pushed anybody over the edge yet. I like that one.
Well, like I say, I don't necessarily believe in the flat Earth theory. It was just the fact that it was something different, and yeah, Michael wasn't very happy about it. He was like, "Nope, not doing it." But at the end of the day, it was like we have people that believe in fairies and like people that believe in purple planets and like, you know, like all sorts of stuff, Martians, and so why not flat Earth? It was just an interesting subject.
I mean, as you say, I brought on some guests though, and Kell and you were like, what? You know, as you say, you've had guests on that believe in fairy stuff. Everybody's got their own set of beliefs in their own kind of field sort of thing, you know. And it's, you know, we might think it's a load of rubbish, you know, but it's good just to sit and talk to these people and find out what they're about. Sometimes we do regret it, as you know, Kell, you know. Yeah. And Mike as well. Sometimes you think, no, kill me now. But
I've had loads of moments.
The kill me now moments. I just want this to be over quickly, you know. But no, I think you do need to mix it up a bit and instead of just sticking to the same same old train weekend, because people get fed up and they stop watching you basically. So there'll be another paranormal team this week, you know.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you mix it up a bit, then it gives people. That's how we'd like to, with histories we're talking about. That's how we were doing the series on the Tudors and what have you. We've done one in the Witch Trials, Pendle. Or just to, you've got to change. You've got to evolve basically. So that makes it. That's maybe the wrong word. I don't know. Because somebody, an ex-team member, said to us a couple of years ago when they left, you suddenly, you've changed so much. We've been going 6 years now. You've changed so much in the last 6 years, and it's not what I was looking for. And I said, well, if we stayed the same as we were 6 years ago, it'd be boring. You'd be fed up. You'd be, you know yourself, Kell. You've been doing this. I was going to say a long time, but you've been doing this a while. And you do change. I'm saying a while. I'm not saying years, giving away your age or anything like that. I just said a while. Calm down. I know your age. I won't disclose it. But you've got to. You've got to move along. Because there's a lot of. We've built up a lot of friendships, including yourself. Even though we did lose touch for a while, but that's in the past now. But you get creationists on. They're fun to debate. I mean, almost always wrong, but interesting points of view nonetheless. It's good to have a wee debate again,
Yeah, I'd rather bring Jehovah's Witnesses on.
Oh, don't even start me with them. They used to, when I lived with my mum, and years and years ago, they used to come to the door and it was at the. No, I'm not slagging them off in case there's any going to watch this, but probably not, but however.
Covering you.
That's my disclaimer.
Yeah, all your bases there.
Disclaimer, bang. But they used to come to my mum's house, and my mum was always one for, no, shoo, go away. But I used to invite them in.
Yeah.
See if I answered the door. I would, no, come on in. You got your watchtower with you, your Bible and stuff. And my mum would just, that look of sheer hate you get. My mum.
Yeah.
So, Mum, the witnesses are here to talk to you. Come on down. My mum just coming down. Have a seat, Mum, And I used to went, because I used to debate with them, Not that I was a great, full of knowledge or whatever, but it was good just to sit and have a wee debate, because I always wore cardigans and shirts and ties, even in the middle of summer. Nice cardigan, And obviously that Watchtower magazine.
You do know there's an interesting point that you can actually get them to come to your house online, like obviously book online for them to come to your house. So if you don't like a specific person, like you can just sign them up, I didn't say that.
Can you now? Send them somewhere.
I haven't done it before.
Like an Uber Eats delivery, basically. An Uber Jehovah. Can you Uber a Jehovah? Start making a list of people I don't like.
Now you can tell where mine goes to.
One witness, one Jehovah, please, to so and so.
Revenge
deluxe package. That's just bad. Okay, we have a blast and make each other laugh on shows. We even do episodes just to host and parent and crack one another all about it. As you've got to. I mean, I've watched a lot of shows. No doubt you have as well, Kell. And I've seen this many times. You just want to go to your own funeral.
Yeah.
Or go and dig up an old friend and bury them again. Because they'll just come on and say, well, tonight we're talking to a paranormal team, and here they are. Sleep by that time. Lights out.
Me and Michael, like I say, we've been doing this like God, how many years? 3 years, maybe a little bit longer. And it's like we were both quite shy when we first started doing them, but then it just like our sense of humor just clicked, and we just started having a laugh. And then, like I say, we brought Ian, and he's just as bad as what me and Michael are. He's a little bit more serious at times than what we are, but me and Michael just joke about everything. We used to have a game during obviously the live showing, And we used to like text each other and say, right, either fit this into a sentence or pat your head or scratch your nose or just do something right.
A challenge.
Yeah, we used to make it fun.
4 years.
Oh, yes. Wow.
You get into your own. Well, there you go. 4 years. It's been 3 years since we spoke. Jeez, I mean,
Yeah.
4 years we're doing your show. But no, you do get, because when we started these, we were serious. Well, we still are serious, but we were challenged messages were the best. But we started off trying to be like everybody else, because we'd never done it before, and we thought, you know what, no, it's just no us, we can't ask the 20 questions, and we decided just to throw the questions in the bin and just to start chatting, and it goes a lot better, it flows a lot easier, and I think it makes it more comfortable for your guests, and it makes them want to come back again. And I, sometimes I'll talk a load of bollocks. I'll talk about cooking or packing suitcases. It can be anything, sweeties or anything, but it's all part and parcel of the fun. I've done a few shows where I've not spoke paranormal at all, but I've had a paranormal guest on and we've talked about everything except the paranormal. So, well, I'll need to bring you back on because next time we'll talk some paranormal. Do you know what I mean? And but it's as Michael says, it's just about having a fun and meeting people and talking away. We would use challenges between us when we were on a heavy topic to try and lighten it up in good fun, but never at a guest expense. Totally, Michael. You always, I always involve the guest and we have a laugh and a giggle, but the guest is laughing and giggling back, and it's like kind of game of tennis, basically. But I've just noticed the time. No, we've been on for an hour and a half.
Oh wow!
So I mean, time
flies when you're having fun.
It does, doesn't it? It actually does. I might bring you back again because I could get you and Michael on actually at the same time. How would that suit you, Michael?
Well, how about Michael and E as well? Because obviously both of them are absolutely amazing, really good guys.
The three is on the one show. 3, 2. Right, that program. 3, 2. Did you ever do that? 3, 2, 1.
Then you wouldn't get a word edgeways.
Oh, trust me, I'd get one word done, I'd get hello, and that'd be it. We need you to. That's fine, we can put that, we can certainly put that together. So, I'll keep a hold of you just after we come off, Doll, for a wee second, if that's all right. So, where can people find you for hunting for you?
I'm basically just hiding.
Man or anything like that, I mean.
Shh. No. Basically, find us on social media. There's the same name, Kelly Ridley, because I don't put my real name on there because I like to hide. You've got a wee. This is going. So you've got a wee side, but you've got another wee business going, a wee creative business as well. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to raise money to get my back fixed in America. I went to America last year, and obviously I know now I can get the work done over there that the NHS over here won't do. So I'm trying to raise the money. So I've been making spiders. I've just got a crappy one here. This is not the best one, but like make things like that. Like this is a Christmas spider. And I do decorated shells, which I don't have one handy at the moment, but I sell them to try and raise the money to get my back fixed. So
that's on your Facebook page.
Yeah, I've got a Facebook page called Kell Vintage Boutique. It's if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see it. And I do have a good GoFundMe as well. I hate obviously getting donations off people. I hate asking that for that. That's why I'd rather sell things that I make for people instead of begging. All your stuff's really, really, really nice. So go and give a look up, folks. And this is side business. It's not a side business. You know what I mean? You're creative. No, it's just basically it's just for like I say, doing that for get my back fixed and get my life back. You're back on your feet, so to speak, no matter speaking. You know what I mean? Well, I'm already on my feet, but it just causes a bit of pain. So you just can't walk that 200 yards to the wall. No, not the wall. Michael, that's the reason why I've never walked to the wall. It's my back. It's not because I'm lazy.
So she will hit the wall. Not hit the wall. You know what I mean. She will get to the wall eventually. She's an amazing artist. So go and give her a wee look up, folks. She will be back on with Michael and with E. We'll get that arranged and get the three of them on. Hopefully, I'll get a wee word done to Edgewise. But we're going to wind up here. We're back on Monday night. Actually, we're going to investigate a brand new location. This place never been investigated before. It's very close by us. You'll find out on Monday night if we're going live on Facebook. So I'm not telling you where it is. You need to watch it to find out. That makes sense? Makes sense, aye. Anyway. So thanks very much for watching, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right, and a big thanks to Kell, which is over that way, for coming on, and you will see her again. So bye now.